Hey there. So, are you ready to finally shatter that absolutely exhausting myth that 100% of your effort is required to achieve your goals? Seriously, for decades, we've all been told that what you put in is exactly what you get out. It's practically drilled into us. But what if the vast majority of your success actually comes from a tiny, super concentrated fraction of your work?
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into Richard Koch's totally foundational concept, the 80-20 principle. And let me tell you, this isn't just another generic productivity hack. It's a profound blueprint that literally has the power to completely transform both your business strategies and your personal life.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The predictable imbalance, 2. The 50-50 fallacy, 3. Multiplying corporate profits, 4. The time revolution, and finally 5. The habits of happiness. Let's get right into it.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the predictable imbalance, or as I like to call it, why the universe is wonky. So here's the simple truth. The world just doesn't operate on some perfectly fair balanced scale. The 80-20 principle basically states that there's this inbuilt, highly predictable imbalance where a small minority of causes, inputs, or effort almost always lead to the vast majority of the results, outputs, or rewards. Now, this was actually discovered by the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto way back in 1897, and it's literally been lumbering around in the background of economics for over a century now. Yet somehow it still remains one of the greatest, most underexploited secrets of our modern world. I absolutely love this quote from Joseph Ford. It really sets the stage perfectly. He says, "God plays dice with the universe, but they're loaded dice. And the main objective is to find out by what rules they were loaded and how we can use them for our own ends." How great is that? Our goal today is exactly that, to figure out how these loaded dice work in our favor so you can actually leverage them. Moving right along to Section 2, the 50-50 fallacy, and shattering linear thinking. You know, linear thinking is that classic 50-50 belief that half of your causes lead to half of your results. And sure, it's a really attractive idea because it sounds simple and fair, right? But honestly, it's just a completely exhausting way to live. Scientists and historians abandoned linear thinking a long time ago. On the flip side, 80-20 thinking is this strategic mindset that recognizes the world is just predictably unbalanced. Only a few things really matter, and once you finally accept that, you can stop wasting all your energy on the noise.
And this brilliantly illustrates the concept. Just notice how incredibly small that input or effort node actually is compared to the massive, sprawling size of the outputs and results. When you start applying 80-20 thinking, you're deliberately seeking out those nonlinear relationships. You're constantly looking for that tiny sliver of highly potent input that's generating the vast, overwhelming majority of your desired output. Let me give you some wild, real-world context to put this into perspective. 700. Sir Isaac Pitman, the guy who invented shorthand, actually figured out that just 700 common words make up a staggering 2/3 of our everyday conversations. If you throw in their derivatives, they account for 80% of common speech. That literally means fewer than 1% of all English words are used 80% of the time. And we see this absolutely everywhere. In the film industry, a recent study showed that just 1.3% of movies earn 80% of all box office revenues. Like I said, the universe is incredibly wonky.
Okay, Section 3, multiplying corporate profits by focusing on the vital few. Take a look at this real study of Electronic Instruments, Inc. It revealed what we could honestly call an 88-25 rule. Get this, just 25% of their customer base was yielding 88% of their total profits. And this happens because your best customers not only buy your most profitable products, but they're also usually cheaper to service. So here's the reality check. Unless you're concentrating on that core minority of clients driving the vast majority of your profits, your entire business strategy is probably, well, flawed. So the crucial point here is the sales and marketing blueprint. You absolutely have to focus your team's effort on that 20% of products that are actually generating 80% of your sales. You need to find out exactly what your top core customers really want. And here's the contrarian part. Delist your slow-selling products. People always think that restricting a bloated product range is going to hurt their brand stature, but the data is super clear. It actually sends profits up. Finally, knock on old doors. Bill Bain, the founder of Bain & Company, used to sell Bibles door to door. When he hit a dry spell, he'd literally just go back to the last person who bought a Bible from him and sell her another one.
It's true, repeat customers are absolutely your highest yield asset. All right, on to Section 4, the time revolution. This is all about working less to earn more.
This whole concept is just perfectly captured by General von Manstein's matrix for the German officer corps. So he divided his officers into 4 types: lazy and stupid, hardworking and stupid, hardworking and intelligent, and finally intelligent and lazy. Now, the hardworking, stupid ones, they're a total menace who just create irrelevant work. The hardworking, intelligent ones make great staff officers, but it's the intelligent and lazy officers who are actually suited for the highest office. Crazy, right? But think about it. Intelligent, lazy people are constantly looking for the most effective shortcuts. They naturally zero in on the 20% effort that yields the 80% result.
So, how do you become intelligently lazy? You follow this 80-20 action flow. Step 1, identify your core skill, that specific 20% where you're just amazingly better than everyone else. Step 2, totally immerse yourself in it. Become the expert, the high priest, the indispensable ally of that skill. And then step 3, delegate, outsource, or just completely eliminate the rest. Seriously, drop the low-value 80% tasks that drain your time but give you almost zero reward. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, the habits of happiness, and those micro-habits of joy.
I want you to really ask yourself this question right now. Are you spending 80% of your time on things that don't even make you happy? When Richard Koch asked people to divide up their lives, he found this massive recurring theme. The vast majority of our perceived happiness actually occurs in a tiny minority of our time. Usually 80% of our happiness happens in just 20% of the time we spend. Just think about how inefficient it is to tolerate the other 80% of your time if it's bringing you absolutely no joy. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the 80-20 rule completely governs our relationships too. I mean, almost nothing great is ever achieved without allies, right? But most people just sort of let friends happen to them. 80-20 thinkers are completely different. They actively cultivate the vital few. You have to pick your allies carefully because 80% of an alliance's value usually comes from less than 20% of your friends. And this definitely extends to choosing a happy life partner because, let's be real, 2 unhappy people are just going to drive each other nuts. You have to consciously use your happiness today to build and multiply your happiness tomorrow. It's exactly like compound interest.
Look, the 80-20 principle isn't just some cheap diagnostic kit you pull out of the closet once a year. It is a really powerful, persistent mindset. It's all about celebrating exceptional productivity, exercising total control over your life, and constantly striving for excellence in a few things rather than just settling for mediocrity in everything else. You have to actively wake up and seek those nonlinear relationships every single day.
So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. Your current effort to reward ratio. That is entirely within your control to fix. Are you going to keep exhausting yourself doing 100% of the work for just minimal gains? Or are you going to take a step back, really analyze your life, and find that magical 20% that holds the true key to your success and happiness?
This explainer has given you the blueprint for sure, but to truly master this universe-altering paradigm shift, you've really got to dive into the source material yourself. If you're an ambitious viewer who actually wants to work less, earn more, and multiply your happiness, and who doesn't, I highly encourage you to pick up Richard Koch's book, The 80-20 Principle. You can grab it right now by using my Amazon affiliate link down below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.